Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video.
Hey down there!
What do you want?
Have you seen anything weird? I f***ed up really bad.
What did you do?
I left Joey's door open.
What's a Joey?
Zip has a pet space parasite and I let him out.
Do we need to worry?
No, just try not to open your mouth more than necessary and keep clenched.
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 This is Slither. We open with a meteor going over what must be an unpaved section of space. Cops are usually the first to notice weird stuff like this if there are no horny teenagers available. The cops here are so bored they're using the radar to estimate the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. Bill, played by Nathan Fillion, is chief of police in a town where absolutely nothing exciting ever happens. The meteor lands, carrying with it an alien parasite, a probe droid, and 2018's Venom. This is Wheelsey, South Carolina, a small charming town with people just as charming.
Get the fuck out of the way, cocksucker!
Morning, Mayor.
That was my first big laugh. See you in November. Elizabeth Banks is Starla, school teacher. Today's lesson, relevant movie themes presented in classroom settings.
We think we're more fit, more evolved.
You know, the boys in this class test really badly. Only need one hand to take notes. I see the encouraged gyno exams. Third place isn't bad. This is Starla's husband, Grant, played by Michael Rooker. He don't like other men talking to his woman.
Oh, I know what he wants to borrow, and I ain't lending him.
The story goes, Starla was poor and married Grant, who was not. So he's a little possessive. He's Mary freaking Poppins, y'all. It doesn't matter, we're already shipping these two. I hope it works out. No, leave the rollers in.
It's not really in the mood.
The cracks are visible, so Grant goes out to a bar. While there, he bumps into an old friend, Brenda, played by Brenda James. Drunk, they go out into the woods to see proof that she once had a thing for him. How bad? She did this with her nipple. Before he crashes through any more bushes, Grant comes to his senses and turns her down. Before they think about it too much, they spot the meteor from before. You're in the woods and you find a large worm-like creature. Do you leave it alone and run, lick it, or poke it with a stick? Have we learned nothing from Prometheus? I'm censoring because that might be its wiener.
What the fuck?
The parasite moves in, takes over Grant, and goes home. Call me. They have an awful lot of meat in the fridge. They really should be freezing some of that. He also starts building a nest in the basement. Throw in a foosball table and you've got the perfect man cave. Starla tries to make amends with who she thinks is still Grant. Luckily, the parasite still knows how to get down with the wife. You can always tell when somebody's just gotten some. He implanted eggs all over me. That's normal, right? And much like the wife, Grant loves meat. And he's a pro at keeping secrets.
Do you really think you should be asking so many questions when it's so close to your birthday?
Wow, that was easy. Take note, people. His hunger is insatiable. So hungry he could eat a... No. Grant is going through some changes, y'all. Should have worn a few condoms. He's still hungry. Yeah. Now press it up against the glass like a bus station window. Despite all this hunger, he still won't attack Starla. Instead, he seeks out Brenda. Side piece, side dish, tomato. Bill has carried a torch for Starla, since they were kids, and is just so adorable. Yeah, I'm still shipping. We can all agree that Grant is going to be out of the picture eventually, right? While they watch the mayor's speech about movie themes and speeches,
Right after God invented this world of ours.
Grant is moving in on Brenda and possibly her kid? Relax, he leaves the kid alone. We find out later with a single throwaway line. He just attacks Brenda. Don't you laugh at it! So much for no implant November. Even Starla starts to see changes in Grant.
Baby, what happened to your face?
It's just a bee sting.
How big was that bee? Not satisfied with just store-bought meat, Grant's been busy with the neighborhood pets and feeding his new... mistress? Girlfriend? Baby mama? In any case, she still digs his meat. Brenda's missing and Grant is a person of interest. Here's my number if you just want to talk. Watch as she delicately removes the lock. She finds Grant's man cave full of flies and rotting ex-pets. I told you a bee stung me.
Why are you running from me, baby? I wasn't gonna hurt you!
Whoa! Stop! Grant is suddenly more noodly than usual. Just leave that, I'll get it. So, he's gone for 3 days, but no less busy, eating more pets and farm animals. By following Grant's pattern, the cops conduct surveillance at a local's house. This is Otis. They don't have long to wait. Grant shows up, further mutated and looking for beef. There's no talking him down.
We're just here to take you to get some help.
Stop right there, you son of a bitch!
You married him. They chase him to a barn where they find Brenda, and then some.
Better get a bucket or throw up.
Get her a doctor, or at least some Oompa Loompas. This was a trap. She's about to pop like an Alabama tick, and their kids need hosts of their own. Oh, for God's sake, close your mouths, or scream with your mouth shut. See? Easy. Luckily, they seem to give up pretty easily. I guess it beats the alternate route. Otis's daughter, Kylie, takes this chance for a vulnerable bath. Nobody is safe in this house. This reminds me of those movies they showed us in middle school. Her manicure helps her keep the critter out, but not before a psychic hive mind memory dump. Mazel tov. Is it weird I kind of feel sorry for it? It's too late to warn the rest of the family. So what's the rule? 1 worm per body, or is it like a carpool? This is what it's like to be the only female in a group chat. The worm victims are still alive, but just barely. So, we're a zombie movie now. Okay, alright.
I should have planned.
It's a hive mind, and it still has some of Grant's personality, including his love for Starla. Aw.
I'm sorry for trying to strangle you and all.
Whatever you say, Sean Penn. Actually, they seem to keep the parts of their hosts when relevant. This is kinda cute. They still hold hands as a zombie family.
It's me.
Man, that kid's creepy.
Why are you talking like Grant?
'Cause I am Grant. I'm your husband.
Now make us several sandwiches.
You for damn sure I got the balls to...
Consider that a divorce.
Nathan Fillion to the rescue.
The worms are in their brains.
Why are you looking at me? More and more of the townsfolk are being wormed up, and they all want Starla. But Starla is hardly a damsel in distress.
That was hot.
I know, right?
How's everybody's evening? Good?
I became it. Him.
Kylie's momentary link gives them some insight on the worms. The good old psychic plan dump. Without it, we wouldn't know the extent of the bad guy's plan. ID4, the Frighteners, makes things easy, doesn't it? But it's not enough to avoid the trap waiting for them in town. They grab Starla and the mayor. Keep them. I didn't vote for him. This means Kylie has Nathan Fillion all to herself. Bill tries to call for help at the deserted police station, but it ain't so deserted. Luckily, we're not on traditional zombie bite rules here.
Hey, motherfucker.
They gather what weapons they can, including a hand grenade, because America.
I think he found Joey.
Well, what do we do?
He'll be okay. After he finishes eating his brain, he'll just move on.
Oh, is that all? Grant still loves Darla, and it's really kinda sweet. They may be zombies, but they still know how to show a lady a good time. The mayor wakes up during second dinner and becomes third dinner. Starla is left uninfected since he still wants to win her back. For Grant, romance isn't dead, it's undead. This is kinda sweet. So he gained a few pounds. So he's got a few new hearts. He's willing to try, and that's more than some guys. Some people are being converted into larval incubators, and others are just straight up food.
Well, now that is some fucked up shit.
If they don't stop Grant, the parasite will take over every living thing. First step, he'll create Parasite Prime, and then it'll just escalate from there.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Well, let's not be too hasty. We can talk about this, lover. Just like Grant, always rubbing his tentacles all over Starla. I did say tentacles, right? He's a little mad about the earlier betrayal, but he can't stay mad at Starla forever. She's good at distracting him long enough to attempt an assassination. Nice try, but no cigar. And remember that grenade?
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Why don't you have a seat right over there?
Aw, boo! Now you took it too far. Not cool, man. Grant tries to stick it to Bill, who winds up giving him gas.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
Starla's not the violent type. but she's still pro-pain. That is bad even for me. Being a hive intelligence, killing Grant takes out all the worms, zombies, battle droids, and Chitauri. The only survivors are Starla, Kylie, and surprisingly Bill, because you can't kill Nathan Fillion. Darwinism at work. Everyone else is dead. That means we run this town now. I like to pretend that this cat survives as well. But he probably doesn't. That was Slither. Slither has more than a passing similarity to 1987's Night of the Creeps. Alien worm creatures turn people into zombies by jumping in their mouths. But that movie also bears similarities to any number of classic monster movies from the 50s and 60s. Gotta love a character motivated by love. Screw the rest of the town, but he saved the girl he likes. It's easy to dismiss Grant as a bad guy, but he's also a flawed character. Yes, he's possessive, he's a bit of a prick, but he genuinely loves Starla, and that at least keeps her alive through the movie. It would have been too easy to make him one-dimensional and unlikable by not giving him any redeeming qualities. When offered extramarital cookies, he declines, thinking of his wife. Director James Gunn gives this movie a fun aesthetic, mixing small-town charm with brain-sucking aliens. The creatures do give off a sense of revulsion and uneasiness. It's a visceral reaction to things squirming underfoot. Having them enter through your mouth sets off another primal fear. Mouths are delicate, sensitive, vulnerable, and you can't ignore the intimate sexual aspect of this since the act is procreative as well. For example, Alien. The hive mind exposition is a bit of a tired trope. I'd like to think there are alternate ways of relaying an evil master plan.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing!
This movie is funny and surprisingly gory, but it's still tongue-in-cheek.
What the hell happened to you, Otis?
Poison ivy out back, maybe?
We're itchy.
What'd I miss?
What happened to your brain parasite?
Oh, him, he starved to death.
Slither is 4Bs. It's an homage, so not necessarily the most original. The execution sets it apart. Very much a loving tribute. It's a fun throwback to old monster movies. Have a really big meal before you start it, trust me. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!